here from Eddie's house, here in somewhere Australia. We are here today with the OSC mid-season playoff championships here for OSC 2022. Covering the lower bracket today, I am of course Yakuzaku of Zaku, and with me today is la jugadora de ex que conoce hexágonos de paréntesis grandes, Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? Yes, we are here. We are here for the first time for the CranKy Ducklings for OSC 2022 mid-season playoffs number 2. It has been quite some time since we've been covering some of these OSC events, and yeah, we have a lot of matches for everyone. A lot of matches.
Oh yeah. Not just in terms of the quantity, but in terms of the variety as well.
I'm gonna say quality.
Well, we'll find out.
We will find out, apparently. Yes, of course, there are going to be some amazing games coming up ahead of us, and a large variety of players, as you were kind of touching on. We are going to be quickly switching our scenes over here, and yeah, looking at the bracket, mate, we got players from all over the world.
Oh yeah. And to think that we started with even more than what we have right now. I mean, we already, have a bunch of players from all over the world. I mean, right now we're going to be kicking it off with an EU versus Southeast Asia match here, but we also have a lot of players from NA, from Latin America, from everywhere, really.
Yeah, exactly. We can see we got players Trigger, Skillus, Cristiano, Exo Striker, Spirit, Mixu. Players like Chan were here earlier, but we can see that the bracket has been progressing. I believe this is the 10th day of replay casts, or of casts in general. So this tournament has been going on for a while. It does typically get casted by other people. I believe Warriors covered it, Dave Testa, Steadfast. They've kind of been putting in the work, trying to work through this massive bracket.
And now it's our shift, yeah.
Oh yeah. They've kind of handed the reins over to us for at least a day. We'll see if we end up covering more in the future. But yeah, we've got, I believe, 7 matches lined up today.
Oh, yeah. 5 of them, I believe, are going to be best of 5s. 2 of them are going to be best of 3s, but they're going to be spicy matchups nonetheless here.
Oh, yeah. Very spicy indeed. Oh,
no. I was just going to say, it's also going to be interesting because, like you said, we are having a replay cast here. So, yeah, we're going to have to, once again, figure that one out.
Yeah.
Get acquainted to that.
Yeah, we've been doing some DreamHack replay casts last week, and they went quite well. But these replays apparently were recorded a little bit earlier. So because of that, it's gonna take a little bit more effort on our part to actually sync things up and get things going. But I'm sure we won't have too much issues. Hopefully.
Yeah. I guess that is one of the cool things about this tournament is that because it is so massive, it starts a little bit early. It kind of runs concurrently with a bunch of other things, and yeah, it's pretty much onto the players to figure out when they're going to play their matches, and up to the casters to figure out when we're going to cast them. Yeah,
exactly. We're trying to be as accommodating to the people, to the players, as much as we can, as much as possible. So yeah, we're going to be getting into our first series soon. I want to give a massive shout out to some of the people in the chat as well. Baby Links, thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing for 7 months. We appreciate it. And thank you so much, everyone else, slipping into the chat as well. Our first series, as you can see, less than 3, probably less than 3. Our first series of the day, as you can already see on the screen, is going to be MeomaikA going up against ForJumy.
Ooh. Man. Have they ever played against each other?
That's a good question. I think they have, in OC King of the Hill and stuff like that, I think every now and then they faced off a little bit, but I can't believe they have too much experience with each other.
Well, we're about to find out if they have enough experience against each other, specifically if ForJumy has enough experience against MeomaikA.
Oh. We'll see. We shall see. Predictions are now open, so place your bets in the chat on who you think's going to make it through, either the Vietnamese Zerg or the German Protoss player. As Yaku, are you ready to get into this?
What button? Yeah.
Count us in, puppy. Count us in.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait.
Are you okay? Are you okay, puppy?
And spawning here in data under the sea. Over here in the top right-hand corner of the map, all the way in that right-hand corner, we of course have a red Zerg player having some fun coming down from the land of Vietnam. He is of course going to be representing the Juggernauts. He is MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have his opponent from the land of Germany. It is the Blue Protoss. It is ForJumy.
Both of them looking to have fun and looking for some good luck here.
Yeah, and he's going to need it because we do see MeomaikA once again going for a pool first opener. This is quite standard amongst MeomaikA's play in almost every single matchup. But thankfully, ForJumy goes for a probe scout, and he should be recognizing what's going on here.
Yeah. Again, he does have a bit more limited experience against a player like MeomaikA, but MeomaikA is a player whose reputation kind of exceeds him. You see a little bit here. You see that pool first coming down. You know what's coming your way.
Yeah, MeomaikA is even going for a pool gas opener, by the way, so very aggressive here from our Vietnamese Zerg player, delaying his hatchery so much, intentionally so. And what you said makes a lot of sense. If you remember, MeomaikA really kind of made a big splash in the European scene, as the King of Sea usually does, when he went to Valencia, and that's when really like the Europeans were able to get a feel for him, and some of them were punished as a result. You know, Harstam famously did go down to MeomaikA, but after that happened, I feel like word spread a little bit.
I'm definitely not used to being told that what I say makes sense, but I'm definitely am used to seeing probes kind of scout around the edges of the Zerg player's base. I was kind of hoping for a bit of a proxy here, but yeah, I guess he is just going for that follow-up scout. Just gonna confirm, yep, that's a queen.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of things have happened here. ForJumy threw down his second pylon as a part of the wall, so he is very paranoid about any kind of Bane Bust or any kind of early aggression. Meanwhile, Link Speed was started, and MeomaikA has not pulled out of gas, by the way. This was a pool gas opener, so he's going to have a lot of gas early real quick. Oh!
Yeah, not the biggest of deals here for ForJumy. It is just a little bit of a small scouting force, but yeah, MeomaikA is still able to scout everything that's coming his way.
Yeah, and look at that. He splits up his lings. Some of them are going to be hunted down by the Adept, but one ling is going to slip into the main base, and MeomaikA is going to get a free full scout.
Yeah, not much to really see here. Just confirming that, yep, that is double gas being taken. He is going to be committing a little bit to that Stargate for a while.
Yeah, tis that Star.
That's nice to have confirmation.
Oh yeah, it really is. You know, again, MeomaikA now has full information of what the Protoss player is doing. We just see an Adept coming across now to harass a little bit. Ooh, one drone goes down. Only one for the time being, but still not bad at all. And I'm just really curious to see what all this gas is for. It's MeomaikA. I imagine it's going to be a fast lair, but we'll see. Ooh.
Yeah, more than likely, and we'll see whether it's going to be Hydras once again coming out for him or something a little bit more conventional. This from ForJumy is a little bit less conventional nowadays, though.
Oh my god.
That's a Void Ray first.
Hey, we're both clowning right now. What is happening? So it is a Void Ray first. They're going to be using, or ForJumy is going to be using this to just clear out any Overlords, clear out any vision. We do see a bit of a Ling Runby coming in here, but we do have a full wall behind this. We have a Void Ray as well. MeomaikA's Lings shouldn't really do too much. It looks like he wants the Adept. He will get it, but it did cost him a lot of Lings.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was worth it in the end here. I guess he does at least confirm that it is a Void Ray coming out, and you should be able to see the outline of that Oracle coming its way.
Yeah, at least he is aware of that. Meanwhile, we do see the lair in production for MeomaikA, so this is a little bit inefficient. He had plenty of gas earlier to actually get an earlier lair. It looks, I'm gonna assume that MeomaikA was waiting for that one Adept to actually either get killed or go away before he did start this.
Yeah, he needs that element of surprise. Well, usually is relying a bit more on that element of surprise coming his way. The lair is about to finish up here, and I don't see too many gases being taken light.
Yeah, I don't see too many gases taken either. We have 2 gases in total here for MeomaikA. I imagine it's for a Hydroden, and there it is. Hydroden is thrown down.
The Meo Special, as they call it. Well, some people call it that. Arsem mostly.
The MeomaikA Special, Poppy. Let's go. So this is a Hydra push without any Evo chambers, without +1 melee, without +1 range. MeomaikA has different variants of Hydra all-ins, and you can't even transition out of some of them. So it's always kind of difficult to kind of stay on your toes with what MeomaikA is doing, as it looks like MeomaikA is done droning.
Yep, and ForJumy will be able to confirm this as well with his Oracle. He scouts the Hydra Den as well coming his way, and he should know exactly what he needs to do to defend from here.
You would hope so, because the Lings do get across the map. It looks like we have a couple of extra shield batteries being thrown down here. Oh, MeomaikA dives on top of that shield battery. He wants it, and it looks like he's going to get it.
Oh, nice little pickoff here. He's going to make attacking that third base a little bit easier down the line.
Exactly, 1 less shield battery to worry about. Meanwhile, Hydras are on the way, Lings are on the way as well. MeomaikA is going to be banking them up. ForJumy, I don't really think he knows how much threat he's under. He throws down a Forge, he throws down a Bay. We have more gateways, but we need more static defense. We
absolutely do. I mean, don't get us wrong. The Robo Bay is pretty good to defend against Hydras eventually when he can get disruptors out, but he still needs to make sure that he's safe in the middle of that transition, which right now is doubtful. He does have a couple of stasis wards out, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Once the strike goes off on 4 Lings, only 4 Lings. I mean, MeomaikA, he wants to go for the surround, but another stasis trap goes off.
This time with a massive chunk of Zerglings. MeomaikA, you can see he's a little bit hesitant to engage without his full force right now. I was trying to target down that shield battery earlier on, but now it's a little too late.
Yeah, overcharge is a little bit too good here. MeomaikA gets forced all the way back, and it looks like ForJumy has held long enough to actually get his production up and running. We have a Colossus on the way, and that Colossus is going to just shut this down.
Yeah, definitely not as popular as a Disruptor as a defensive unit here, but still, it's going to be able to just absolutely shred through these Lings and eventually deal with the Hydras as well, unless it gets cut out.
Oh my god, yeah, it's looking a little bit exposed here. MeomaikA, he wants it, he does divert his attention away towards it, but the Micro is going to be good enough. The Colossus does survive, the shield batteries, the overcharge, everything. The third base survives once again.
And just like that, MeomaikA is at a huge disadvantage. I don't want to say he's out of it just yet. He is droning up a little bit here, but yeah, it's kind of difficult to see him. It's going to take him a long while to catch back up with ForJumy's economy, and then from there, it's going to take him a while to overtake the tech that he's got.
Yeah, I don't think he was really anticipating all those stasis traps as well as the defensive position here for ForJumy.
Oh no!
Once again, oh god, no, the Hydras!
Only 4 of them, but that accounts for roughly, I don't know, 50% of his total amount of Hydras, 45%.
Pretty much half the Hydras were just stasis, and that is the backbone of this army. That's where all the firepower comes from. And MeomaikA, at least he is droning behind this. As you were saying, you know, he is trying to transition, trying to find another way through this, but he is pretty far behind. I mean, look at that worker count.
Yeah, he's down by 13 workers at the moment. Meanwhile, ForJumy is just pumping out 2 Colossus at a time. Once Advanced Thermal Lance finishes up here, once he gets that and a couple more Zelts, I imagine, he's just going to move across the map and have 0 opposition.
Yeah, I do think that right now the best chance for MeomaikA is to maybe catch a counterattack in the middle of the map and get like a full surround of like Ling Hydra. I do think there's a chance for that to work. But I really think that ForJumy is really smart for investing so much into these sentries. What, he's got 6 sentries with his army, and at the moment MeomaikA has no way to really deal with that or with any force fields. Yeah,
he's getting a bunch of roaches right now, but he's still gonna need a lot more gas and a lot more supply to turn them into Ravagers.
He really will. Meanwhile, we have a massive Ling run by here. It looks like we get a full surround, and that is a kill, not a cancel on the 4th base.
Yeah, I had to confirm that. Yeah, okay, this is a nice little way to inch his way back into this game if you're MeomaikA.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's a great little win here, and we'll see if we can get more of that. You were talking about it. We have Ravagers being morphed in now to help deal with these force fields. Like, MeomaikA is getting a little bit more of a robust army. But despite that, like, his worker count is still struggling. Like, if the game goes on longer, he will slowly be outscaled by the Protoss.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he's getting a more robust army, but ForJumy still has the much better army in the end. And what's that? 5 Colossus.
Oh my god.
That seems a little excessive, but he can definitely afford to be excessive right now for ForJumy.
It is excessive. This is ridiculous. You typically don't get 5 Colossi, but you know what? They're just going to laser their way through the Zerg army. We do see a couple of roaches diving on in. The target firing is pretty good. 1 Colossus goes down.
Yeah? Oh. He's coming in at a pretty decent angle as well, but I think MeomaikA may have just overextended. GG is called, and ForJumy takes game number 1.
GG, well played. MeomaikA going for the MeomaikA special there in game 1, but again, ForJumy, he was able to get eyes on enough tells across the map to recognize that something weird was going on. He got ready at home, and yeah, part of me feels like maybe it was those stasis traps in the end, or maybe even going for a Void Rage. Like, Void Rage is so good defensively against that sort of thing. Like, everything was kind of going for Jumy's way.
Yeah. Void Rays just to sort of shut down those lings. He almost did break a little while, but he was able to prepare. Beforehand with all those stasis wards and even with the shield batteries. Honestly, you know, he was very patient. He didn't, despite losing one of them earlier on. Afterwards, he was able to rebuild them, and was very patient with his overcharge. Very nicely done. I guess it also doesn't help that MeomaikA decided to go for an all-in on Data C, a very defensive map here. Maybe it would have worked out for him if he didn't get scouted that early on. If ForJumy was just a tiny bit less vigilant or diligent with his scouting. But yeah, this Data C is a pretty tough map to pull any sort of all-in off. To pull any sort of all-in on.
Definitely.
Most of all, a Hydra all-in.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That was a really odd choice from MeomaikA. It's one of those things where sometimes a build isn't necessarily good on a certain map, but you do it anyway for that surprise factor, right? Because it's unexpected. But at the same time, you're also working against the map itself. So some questionable moves there. Regardless, we're going to be seeing if he can redeem himself as we're going to be getting ready for game number 2.
Ooh.
And I forgot about this. It's not just OSC King of the Hill, but all OSC events do have a unique map pool.
Yeah, what do they call it? The Legacy Pool?
It's the OSC
pool. It's the OSC pool, but I mean, what do they call it? When you have maps from the past that are maps that people like.
The Dream Pool?
The Dream Pool? Is that what it's called?
The Nostalgia Pool?
It's like there's a term for it. It's like the
grass is always greener.
It'll come back to me. No, there's a term for it. It's like it's not Legacy, it's All-Star? No, it's not All-Star. It's kind of like All-Star. That's kind of like the sentiment. Is it Dream Pool?
That's what it was called, yeah. That was with that was with the Ohana map pool, like a couple of years ago, like end of 2019.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
The Dream Pool?
Yeah.
I don't think it was called Dream Pool.
Oh my god, mate, count us in. Let's get into game 2.
As we get ready here in 3, 2, 1. As we spawn into Nightshade LE. It feels. How long has it been since we said LE?
Oh, true.
LE, of course, standing for Legacy. No, wait.
Esports.
Legacy Esports. Legacy Esports. There we go. We're in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way into the top left-hand corner. We have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Germania. He is, of course, going to be representing Berserker Esports, or at least he was. Wait, yeah, no, he's still in Berserker Esports. Yes. No, he's not. Never mind. He's not in Berserker. Wait. I got it right the first time. Anyway, he is ForJumy.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Nightshade, once again going for a pool first. We have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
Man, I liked Nightshade.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad map. For the people who maybe don't tune into our OSC King of the Hill broadcasts, there are a couple of additional maps that are added to the regular map pool for this tournament, for tournaments organized by OSC. The reason for this is because this rule was instituted, or was kind of implemented, I think that's a better word. It was implemented back when we weren't getting updates to the ladder map pool. It's like, look, if we're not getting any updates from Blizzard, then we're going to do it ourselves. And because of that, they had a voting period, and pro players could vote on what maps they wanted in the map pool.
Yeah. I think it was... Wait, was it just pro players, or was it everybody who was in the sort of OSC club?
Yeah, OSC Elite, yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, I guess at the time it was mostly just pro players.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess that's one little bit of incentive here to sign up for the OSC Elite Club. Vote for a couple of maps for the future.
Oh my god,
this hills and events.
Definitely. Yo, this probe scout is so smart, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but ForJumy, he went in for the probe scout earlier. He saw the pool first, and he kept his probe hidden in the dead space of the main base of MeomaikA. He goes back in for a follow-up scout, and he confirms the Roach Warren.
For a hot minute, or for a hot second, I thought he was going to throw down a Nexus. And then a couple of pylons from there. But no, it was just a very, very smart scout. And because of it, he is able to confirm a very, very early Roach Warren coming out from MeomaikA. And he's going to be preparing at home. We already have double shield batteries over here by his wall. Stargate's about to finish up, and we should be seeing a Void Ray coming out from it as well.
Yeah, there we go. We should be seeing a Void Ray. We have 2 pylons as well to make sure that everything stays powered. No Artosis pylon here. And how many roaches did we see committed? Only 4 roaches. So it looks like MeomaikA, this is what he does very, very often, and personally, I love it. MeomaikA, if he goes for a cheese and if he gets scouted, he will not commit. He commits the bare minimum, and then he immediately transitions. He respects his opponent a lot. He recognizes that they are going to prepare, and sometimes he even hopes they're going to over prepare, because look at this, ForJumy's even getting a 3rd shield battery.
Oh, that's a little bit excessive here. But yeah, this is what MeomaikA does best. He's a master of making sure he has an out. Contingency, that's what it's called.
Yeah, he's a man with a plan, and he also is the master of the mind games, as he's just droning the hell up. Obviously, he is a little bit behind economically, like he's not where he wants to be, but that's also why he wanted to force a reaction out of ForJumy. Oh, he has to be careful though. He's pulling back his overlords, but the Void Ray is on the way, so MeomaikA may be losing a handful.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of anti-air right now. It's 2 queens and a spore crawler. One of these overlords is already going to go down. And he's, just like that, he is supply blocked. This is going to hurt him quite a bit when he wants to drone up. Exactly.
We have 2 adepts ready to go into the natural base. It looks like MeomaikA's trying to expand and take a 3rd, but the Void Ray is here to deny it. The drone is going to go down. The adepts shade in. Roaches are here to respond, but how good is the target firing for ForJumy?
Almost everything that could go wrong right now for MeomaikA has gone wrong. The only thing worse, I spoke too soon, would be if the Adept is able to get into the mineral line, and okay, it's only able to take out 1 drone, but the Oracle is going to follow that up.
Oh my
with
god.
Another.
Yeah, the Oracle follows it up. All in all, 5 workers have gone down this game. Ay. So honestly, not bad damage for a single Adept. I mean, the Oracle is still alive, technically, so he can deal even more damage. And MeomaikA is stuck on 2 bases. Look at that. He tries to expand again, and the Void Ray is here.
Yeah, the Void Ray shoots it down. It doesn't have prismatic alignment yet. But yeah, it's making it difficult for MeomaikA to expand. Is that going to be a cancel? It is canceled in the end. Whew. Could have been a lot worse.
It really could have. But yeah, MeomaikA, he's stuck on 2 bases. He's droning as much as he can. He may be forced to double expand at this point. But ForJumy's pretty comfortable here. Now he can tech up himself. He doesn't have a lot of production to work with right now, but there is that kind of bit of a gateway explosion, and all the tech is thrown down behind it.
Yeah, we can see that Robo Bay being thrown down with a Robo Facility as well. Eventually, we're gonna get the Twilight Council just to really, just to really round off this unit composition. But till then, ForJumy's just sitting comfortable. Nothing has gone MeomaikA's way.
Exactly. MeomaikA is going for a massive link counterattack towards the third base. We have a shield battery, we have a zealot. We don't have that much to defend, so MeomaikA can find some damage here. Oh my god, the wall is on the wall. He gets a bit of a surround on that zealot itself, and we'll see how much more chaos he can cause.
And it looks like MeomaikA was able to catch ForJumy right in the transition. How much can he do? He could even equalize from here, even if he's unable to kill that Nexus.
Yeah, exactly. He gets 4 probes, he gets 3 zealots, 2 shield batteries. Not bad. A little bit ambitious trying to focus down that Nexus. Oh, and he sticks around a little bit too long. So MeomaikA losing more than he really should have, but at least he's able to, I mean, force a reaction and keep ForJumy on his toes.
Yeah, ForJumy was comfortable, now just slightly discomforted.
Like, it's something, okay?
We need a chart, yeah. We need a chart to keep track of the levels here.
We need ForJumy's comfort levels, yes. Is he in like an ergonomic office chair? Is he in a gamer DX racer chair instead?
Is he in a massage chair?
Oh. Let's massage him. Oh boy. As we do see the first Colossi on the way, second Robo on the way as well, so ForJumy can get into that double Colossus production. We saw last game he went up to 5, and why not do it again?
Yeah, why not? He could even get a couple of disruptors this time. World's pretty much his oyster right now.
It really is. As MeomaikA, he did double expand. He now has a 4th hatchery. He is droning up a little bit. I worry though, because instead of committing to the droning, look at how many links he already has and continues to make. He is gonna go for a follow-up all-in.
Yeah, this time with a Spire, interestingly enough. This does get scouted by ForJumy.
Oh yeah, the Revelations are gonna spot the Spire in the end. So ForJumy, does he notice what he's seeing? Is he gonna throw down some Stargates as a response? Meanwhile, I'm shocked. MeomaikA starts 2-2. I thought he was gonna hit a timing with 1-1 and just send it, but because he has 2-2 on the way, that means that MeomaikA, he's gonna wait a little bit longer, and he's not stopping link production.
Yeah, this is very, very odd, especially considering he doesn't have a Baneling Nest right now.
It's just pure Ling, and if he wants to hit with 2-2, he's just gonna keep making Lings until he's maxed out.
Yeah, it's pure Ling, it's pure MeomaikA. He's I
don't know what
defying all forms of convention. We have no idea what we're looking at right now.
I'm just a little bit in shock because, again, typically the longer this game goes on, you want drones, you want to invest and make up for your economy, and then build an army afterwards. And here we go. Now MeomaikA is going back into droning.
Huh?
All of these things could have been drones.
Like, they really could have, or at least mutas, or something. But here's the thing. ForJumy has committed to the Colossus. So with these +1, I imagine Corruptors? Maybe it makes sense. Who knows? A lot of drones are going down.
Yeah, 2 Oracles slip into the main base. 11, 12 drones have been targeted down. There was no Spore in the main of MeomaikA. He was being greedy, and he is being punished so hard for this greed. Meanwhile, as he lost the mineral line, MeomaikA continues to make more links. He's intentionally hiding the links from the Oracles, though. Bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
Does he need to, though? One revelated.
Oh,
no. One revealed. Zergling does group up with the rest, and this gives ForJumy eyes on everything. The entire army of MeomaikA.
Immediately, we have cannons and shield batteries being thrown down. We have disruptors on the way. Like, this was supposed to be a hidden all-in. This was supposed to be a massive surprise, and now ForJumy is aware. But he may be caught out, though. His army is looking a little bit exposed, and he doesn't have his shield batteries ready.
Yeah, the army immediately gets surrounded. There aren't any Archons just yet. But we still have 3 Colossus.
We still have to
and that absolutely just chews through the Lings.
It really does. We see the Colossus just started stepping backwards here. The Lings are getting a lot of damage. The Colossus are looking to go down, but at the same time, here come the Disruptors.
Ooh. Yeah, and they're getting a little bit of damage. They are able to take out the Ravagers and a handful of Lings. MeomaikA retreats, content with the damage he has dealt. And finally, he's making use of that Spire.
Oh, there we go. Corruptors are on the way to help deal with those Colossi, but now the problem isn't just the Colossi. We have Disruptors, we have Archons, we got Chargelts as well. We are just making this army that much more, or adding so much more versatility to the Protoss Death Ball, and MeomaikA is still refusing to drone for the most part. He does have 2-2, and I think he did hit with 2-2, by the way. That was like ideal timing for him. But I guess if at first you don't succeed, try again, and then try again.
Yeah. Game is going to continue here. And we are still technically in the all-in phase for MeomaikA. He still isn't droning much. In fact, I'm pretty sure that every drone he makes from here on out is a misclick.
We have confirmation. As we do see the Corruptors trying to be a little bit cheeky here, but we have an overcharge. ForJumy keeps every unit alive here in that counterattack. MeomaikA, he's mixing in a couple of drones here and there. We're up to 53 drones now, but he is just hammering down that Ling button. I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if he droned up a little bit more, got up to a hive, which he is doing now, and went ultras.
Yeah, what makes sense, which is why it's probably not what we're going to see here from MeomaikA. He is getting the Baneliness this time, though, which I definitely appreciate.
There we go. Baneliness is on the way. He's probably getting Hive just for Adrenal and 3-3. He doesn't really have the gas to sustain Ultras at the moment. He just doesn't really have the numbers that he needs. But, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, he just droned up hard. He's up to 70 workers right now. Not quite the end game amount here, but for MeomaikA, it might as well be.
Yeah. I mean, this is looking pretty healthy now. Obviously, it takes a while for the economy to really kick in, and ForJumy has just been, mining more efficiently this entire time. We do see both armies are maxed out, but bearing in mind that a lot of MeomaikA's army is just pure Ling.
Yeah. And a lot of those things are getting shredded by the Archons and the Colossus of ForJumy.
I have 146 Lings on the map.
That's
a lot of Lings.
Do we have a scale like we do for Mutalists?
We need a scale.
Seal, get on that.
We need a scale when we get to 146 Lings, mate. Here we go. Oh my god, a Colossus is going to go down here in the middle of the map. Ling counterattack is looking to deny the 5th base of ForJumy.
Ooh!
And up!
That was a kill, not a cancel.
Not bad. These Lings are getting damage done right now, but I worry. ForJumy knows the answer. He recognizes how Ling heavy MeomaikA is. We have 2 Stargates and a Fleet Beacon on the way, and a 2nd Cyber Core. He's getting ready for mass Sky Toss. He has to be careful though. If he loses too much too quickly, he will die before the transition happens.
Yeah, he does need to lose a little bit though. ForJumy is currently maxed out before he's really at his final form. The Banelings are able to connect at the heart of that army. Ooh. And MeomaikA cleans up. That was a very, very efficient trade for him.
Yeah, there we go. The Ling Bane cleaned everything up, and it looks like MeomaikA has the momentum right now. At the same time, we have a Zealot Rumite in the main base of Meo. War Prism was able to slip on in, and this is going to force MeomaikA back. At the same time, he is looking to deny that 5th base, and ForJumy needs time to rebuild.
Yeah, he really does. MeomaikA is being drawn all the way back home, though, thanks to this warp-in of ForJumy. Massive, massive warp-in of Zealots right now. They could kill the Hive. There are no Banelings here for MeomaikA to defend.
That's the thing. MeomaikA, he didn't rebuild any of his Banelings. The Hive gets focused down. Not before 3-3 starts, though. Looks like MeomaikA actually started that as the counterattack was happening. So a little bit lucky in that respect. He won't be able to get into Ultras if that was the plan. And now MeomaikA is getting ready for another counterattack.
He's just going to double down on the Ling Bane at this point.
Yeah.
He is never going to remake that. He's never going to remake that Hive.
Oh boy, never, mate. Why do you even need it? As MeomaikA, he's setting up here on the right-hand side and on the left. He does get scouted here by ForJumy. And again, ForJumy is making massive Void Rays. This is the hard counter to everything that MeomaikA has.
It really, really is. You know, ForJumy needed to clear up his supply to get to this point, and yeah, now he's cleared his supply. Now he is just getting whatever he needs. He had a decent bank, and he's making use of it. More importantly, he has a really good income.
Yeah, ForJumy, he wanted to lose his army, Copium. But as we're pointing out, you know, he had a transition point from there, and he is going to be able to excel because of it. He does need a 5th base, though. He is running out of resources a little bit, and MeomaikA's done a great job at denying that base. We do see more Void Rays on the way, carriers as well. Skytoss is amazing in this position, especially because you don't just need Corruptors to deal with Skytoss. You need some kind of spellcaster, and again, MeomaikA just lost his high.
Yeah. But you know what? He didn't lose his... Wait, does he still have his infestation pit?
Yeah, natural.
Okay, he lost. Yeah, he does. So you could still get a couple of infestors out. They will be vanilla infestors. Because again, no hive, but I guess it's better than nothing?
It is better than nothing. You're not wrong. The earlier you get them, the better they are, because you can bank up that energy. Meanwhile, we see the creep spread going right through the center of the map, leading up towards the bases of ForJumy. Another Ling run by here, looking to deny the 5th base, and we need to cancel. Oh, this time we get one.
Yeah. Oh, good storms being pumped out. Archon's morphin just at the end there, but still a very inefficient trade for MeomaikA. The Banelings crash in, and I guess they're able to kill the Archons, but this Nexus actually does get killed, finally.
Oh my god, that is another kill, not a cancel for ForJumy, please. He just keeps losing so many resources in these expansions. Was an inefficient trade for Mio, I want to say, looking at the unit lost time. Oh my god, Yaku, look at how many Lings we've lost this game.
That's 579. That's got to be a record somewhere.
Over 500 Lings, Yaku. 500!
Yeah. Now what is that on the scale here? What do we call that? A, fiver.
Oh my god, it's crazy, man. We see Lings going for another counterattack here. Do we have enough energy for a storm? It looks like we do not, but the carriers are going to swat this away. At the same time, MeomaikA goes for a bit of a Ling run by here in towards the natural.
Yeah, the wall was not a wall, and he is able to take out a gateway at the very least. Can he deny the upgrade? Can he deny the upgrade? He cannot!
Oh my god, that was so close. He got one cyber core. He didn't get the second cyber core, so that is going to have to be rebuilt. There we go. It is on the way there for ForJumy. MeomaikA just keeps on making nothing but Lings. It's insane, and these run-bys actually deal damage. Like cracklings, mate. They're cracked.
Yeah, they really are. They're cracked and they're cracking, and they are getting Hive.
Hive is on the way, and I imagine that's going to be for Vipers. That would make the most sense here. The Corruptors are looking for a little bit of damage. They dive on in. It looks like, oh, can they get a carrier?
They cannot.
Not a carrier.
They can. How is it looking?
It's okay. The Corruptors, they got a carrier. They're going to be able to caustic spray down one of these bases. They're going to force a reaction out of ForJumy. Really, I'm not concerned about these Corruptors. I'm concerned about those Lings.
Yeah, the wall is a wall this time, but the Lings are still able to get some damage, targeting down the High Templar. But they will die in the end. Once again, the Lings are cracked, but the wall is not.
Yeah, the wall is a solid. We do see Lings wreaking a little bit of havoc in the end. But what's important is that ForJumy finally, after like 5 minutes, he gets a 5th base up and running. He's getting his defenses sorted as well. He's working on his Sim City, and it's going to be that much more difficult for MeomaikA. I'm just honestly like pulling back a little bit, like with perspective. I'm really impressed with what MeomaikA's been able to do with almost a pure Ling Bane army. Like, he's only ever had a handful of Corruptors against Skytoss.
Yeah, I'm really impressed that MeomaikA's been able to get to the point where he has lost 600 over Lings. Like, he's gotten a lot of damage done
he's
here.
He's lost 669!
Yeah, nice.
Nice. Oh my god.
It's like, that's a lot of Lings to lose, don't get us wrong. But we're impressed that MeomaikA's got to the point where he can't afford to lose that many.
Yeah. And ForJumy, he's kind of being pulled apart right now. The Void Rays are pushing, sorry, the Corruptors are pushing on forward. A lot of them are, a lot of Corruptors, oh my god, are going to be going down to the Archons. But at the same time, the Ling Bane run by is going for the mineral line.
Yeah, the mineral line is getting flanked,
God.
and that was one of the juiciest mainland connections that I have ever seen. 17 probes do go down.
Oof.
But at the cost of MeomaikA's entire army, pretty much. But
Exactly.
then again, it was a mostly Ling army, so he can afford to lose them.
He lost a lot of Corruptors too there, actually, as well. Looking at the Unit Source tab, we lost 21 Corruptors. The Corruptor count was basically reset, only 3 Corruptors remaining. And MeomaikA's doing the best he can to rebuild. I do think it's a bait if ForJumy counterattacks now. I don't think he has enough to end the game, and there we go. He is going to back off. He is going to respect MeomaikA's position.
Yeah, on another map, then maybe he would have been able to end the game with a counterattack, but Nightshade is quite a bit larger. Even if it is out in the open.
Yeah, and I love this from ForJumy because honestly, he hasn't really been able to go for too many counterattacks. We have Zelt here on the top right-hand corner of the map. They forced MeomaikA's entire army to respond. Only a queen went down, but again, ForJumy needs to just buy some breathing room because for the past 10 minutes, he's just been on the receiving end.
Yeah, and he's still going to be on the receiving end. MeomaikA just keeps coming, and he doesn't stop coming. 2 Archons go down to the Storms and the Lings.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, really good trades there for MeomaikA getting 2 of those Archons. We need more Archons desperately. ForJumy has to try and max out here, but he just cannot. Meanwhile, another Ling run by. This base isn't too important. There's only literally 2 mineral patches here, but regardless, it's a lot of production.
Yeah, if those pylons go down, or if those gateways go down, then that's going to be a massive chunk of the production of ForJumy just completely forfeit.
Oh, it really will be. And on top of that, ForJumy has to start thinking about expanding and taking another base because he is running out of money. His natural is exhausted, his main is exhausted, his third has a mineral patch left. He needs another base soon, otherwise he will just starve out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the income difference right now, and MeomaikA basically has doubled the mineral income and twice the gas income.
Yeah, and every single time he dips in, he gets a carrier, he dips on now. Like, these are trades that MeomaikA can afford and trades that ForJumy cannot.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have another little trade here towards the 3rd base location.
Exactly, taking a couple of storms to the face. MeomaikA has to back up, but he can remax. There we go. ForJumy is finally taking a 6th base. He's trying to establish himself as quickly as possible. That's a lot of cannons. That's a lot of shield batteries. So far, MeomaikA doesn't have vision of this. His creep spread is pretty lackluster. So because of that, ForJumy can get away with it.
Yeah, instead, MeomaikA opts to attack this base that doesn't have a lot of mining and does have a lot of static defense. He may be able to take out that Nexus, but so what at this point?
At the same time, Corruptors come in to try and snipe some carries, but oh, they get caught out of position. A lot of Corruptors are going to be going down, but at the same time, this Nexus should be under threat. It should be cleaned up. Oh, overcharge though.
Keeps it alive. MeomaikA as well, pulling away with the majority of his Banelings.
He wants to slip on in a little bit later instead. The 6th is almost fully up and running here. We have a couple more upgrades on the way. We do have a couple of spellcasters. I did see earlier. We have, I say a couple. We have 1 infester.
Yeah, that's basically like you know,
It's a fungal.
Yeah, 1 fungal. No, he's got 2 fungals on him at least.
Yeah, boy.
Or 1 fungal and a microbial shroud.
No, that's too much. That's
Oh, yeah, actually, the math doesn't work out.
Oh my god. So yeah, you know, he can make some magic happen there. Meanwhile, another massive Ling run right here on the right hand side. Again, this isn't really threatening too much, but it is forcing a reaction out of ForJumy, or maybe it isn't. Oh, he goes through the recall.
Yeah, and you should be able to deal with this. Not too many gateways were taken out here, so ForJumy can continue to use them, can continue to harass and warp in if need be. Corruptors dip in. They are able to snipe a couple of Void Rays, but they also take a lot of storms to the face.
They do take a lot of storms to the face here, but again, this was the plan for MeomaikA. He wanted the army out of position. He comes on in. Banelings do crash into the cannons and the shield batteries, and Banelings are going to get to the middle line.
And basically the entire mineral line does get taken out. ForJumy really bleeding out minerals here.
Yeah, again, just being pulled apart right now. There is no recall available. Another Ling run by is finally going to clean up that triangular 3rd.
Finally, all the gateways do go down as well, so that's a pretty massive chunk of production for ForJumy taken out. And it's important to note, as the game continues, as we are getting into these low econ scenarios, gateways are actually really important for ForJumy right now.
They really are, and at this point, I don't know how he can come back in this game. Like he's struggling to get the 6th base up and running. Once again, MeomaikA is dipping on in, and he gets one more carrier.
Yeah, ForJumy has a decent air army, but he really needs one fight to go perfectly for him if he wants to win the game, and the chances of that happening are pretty slim to none.
He just doesn't have the army for it anymore. He's got 5 Void Rays, he's got 6 carriers, and 4 High Templar, and that is just not enough to push into creep. This entire time he's been struggling to defend, he's been struggling to get his economy up and running. 16 more probes are going to be going down, and the Corruptor count, he just 2-shots every unit that he sees. It's too much.
Like so. ForJumy really being pulled back and forth. Meanwhile, while this is going on, MeomaikA is just remaking that entire Ling army. He's got quite a number of bases on him, but yeah, I was gonna say he's been on, what is this, 2, 4, 6 bases for a while, but to be fair, he doesn't really need to get a 7th anytime soon.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. We have a little bit of DT harass coming in. This is cute. This is something that we could have used earlier. DT's in a lot of these fresh bases, but again, I feel like this is just a little bit too late.
Yeah, you feel that way because it is a little bit too late. It feels that way because it's true.
Oh boy, exactly. And I mean, ForJumy's doing whatever he can to just keep the attention off of him so he can actually try and rebuild, but he needs so much time. It takes so long for the Skytos army to kind of be replenished here. We're down to only a single Void Ray, and because of that, at any moment, MeomaikA, once again, he can just dip in and just pick off carriers left and right.
Yeah, it takes time and it takes money to rebuild that Skytos army, and ForJumy has neither.
Exactly. I didn't think we would see it, but for the first time, Vipers are coming out from MeomaikA. He can go for the yoinks, he can go for the parasitic bombs as well. He's got some options. He just needs to suck on some buildings.
I'm not really convinced that those are Vipers right now. I mean, it says that they're Vipers. It says that 4 Vipers are on the map right now, but I gotta say, I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced that they're gonna get a single spell off by the time the game ends. But we'll see, MeomaikA is not known for his spellcaster kind of control, but we'll see if he's gonna be able to pull something off with them. Meanwhile, the Corruptors come in, they're causing spray down everything in the main.
Oh? Yeah, and he's going to be able to take out quite a number of tech here, but look at this. ForJumy recognizes that his army is out of position, so instead he decides to push into MeomaikA. He knows that there's nothing that can really contest the carriers here.
Oh, exactly. But the queens are here. We have a little bit of a spore forest, a spore park,
well,
if you will.
Yeah.
Of reserve.
A spore garden. You know?
Got a garden.
A backyard.
A backyard, a nice backyard, though, you know, like a backyard with like
solid.
3 trees.
Like, it's like he prunes it.
Yeah, it's good. As here we go, the Vipers are coming on in. So the Corruptors, we do have enough energy for an abduct, not enough for parasitic bombs, but we do have the abducts, and there we go. Up.
Oh, one carrier gonna go down. How many more? How many more?
1 carrier for the time being. Meanwhile, the DT run-bys across the map were dealt with as well, so now MeomaikA can focus on this. Ooh, nice feedbacks on those Vipers. Yeah,
they're gonna have to resuck all of their energy, and they're opting to do it on a spore. That's deforestation, really, from MeomaikA.
That's a little bit dangerous. But regardless, he's going to be able to regather that energy. We see another Ling run by here, stepping into the main base, and again, ForJumy, he's just really struggling to respond to all of this. Oh my god, a lot of production going down at the natural.
Yeah, meanwhile, MeomaikA going to be using this as an opportunity to take out the 6th base. Again, this is the most important base right now for ForJumy, as he tries to get a 7th base.
Oh, the Banelings even crash on in as well. MeomaikA overextending a little bit. He's going to be losing some of his queens here, but only 2 queens go down. Another DT run by is going to wreak some havoc here and actually get some damage done. Yo, MeomaikA's drone count is dangerously low.
Ooh. It really is. I like what he did with the manual detonation.
Yeah. It was a great way to deal with it, but you know, these past couple of moments, like MeomaikA's been losing a lot of workers and he hasn't been rebuilding, and he's you know, things are getting closer than they really should have been.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job of making sure that ForJumy is in a low econ situation, but now he himself is on a very, very low economy.
He really is. You know, we've reached... Oh my god, we do see a blink on forward. MeomaikA being very ambitious with his corruptors.
Yeah, that was a bit of an awkward yoink there. We actually yoinked the carriers away from the Corruptors. Now the Corruptors are fighting with everything. Storms are blanketing the entire ground army. Not a single Baneling connects.
Mates, oh my god, it looks like ForJumy with the power of the Archon. I do think that if it wasn't for the ground army, MeomaikA would be okay, but the Stalkers and the Archons are pushing on forward. MeomaikA is trying to rebuild here with his Lings. He's going to be able to focus down all of these carriers. Actually, can he get all of them? I don't know anymore. He won't.
GG is called. 1,157 Lings went down that entire game.
1,000?
And ForJumy, 1,157. And ForJumy takes that series 2-0.
Oh my god.
I screenshotted that.
Oh my god. I'm looking at the units lost tab. ForJumy lost just under 500 units. MeomaikA 1,539. Oh my god.
Yep.
GG.
Yep. Very well played.
Ugh.
A game which, you know, for the longest time, we were sure that MeomaikA had in the bag. But in the end, ForJumy was able to sort of inch his way back in slowly but surely, and ultimately, he took one really, really good engagement that won him the game.
I'm a little bit shocked by what happened. So there was a couple of things that came into play there that led to MeomaikA's demise. There was a moment where we were riding ForJumy off when MeomaikA was up, I think it was 70 supply. He was maxed out 200 and ForJumy had like 125. And at that point, it's like, oh, there's no way. There's actually ForJumy has one mining base. That is it. But that's when the DT harassment started. So MeomaikA started losing a lot of workers, and he didn't have a high drone count to begin with. We saw MeomaikA kept going for these massive Ling run bys, and he just kept trading with production, which is fine. But at the same time, that's a lot of lava. That's a lot of resources being invested into constant run bys. I think he went for like 3 massive Ling run bys. And again, he was never trading with army. He just kept killing gateways or forges or stargates, and he was just honestly throwing away a lot of his army.
He absolutely was. I mean, 1,157 Lings. It's got to be a record somewhere.
Yeah, that's a lot of Lings, mate. And I'm just shocked that MeomaikA almost pulled it off with that style. Yeah. Bearing in mind, for a long time, he was not relying on spellcasters, just pure Ling Bane, and not that many corruptors either.
Yeah, one infestor that entire game, and I don't think he even used it.
He didn't use it. He didn't use the infestor. He used the Vipers. We saw that a little bit. He got like 2 carriers with them, or 3 carriers. But yeah, that was such a wild game.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I just saw.
And with that, ForJumy is going to be able to advance in this mid-season playoff. MeomaikA, unfortunately, will be knocked out, as that was, in fact, a lower bracket match. Well played all around.
GG, well played. Again, massive shout out to MeomaikA for making it as close as it was. He made us all believe that he was going to win this game. Like, he was so far ahead at certain points. And he had no right to be.
I was getting ready for the ace.
Yeah. Like, MeomaikA, he... Remember, there was a time where he was on like 46 drones, and he was getting up to like 150 supply of Lings. He was making nothing but Lings. And then he revealed himself as well. Like, what was happening? I don't even know.
And then he revealed himself, but still decided to wait for 2-2.
Yeah. And then he almost killed, then he did a lot of damage. Then he killed the 4th. Oh my god.
That was a time where he killed Colossus with Lings.
Yeah.
Pure Lings. No Banelings at all.
Crazy.
Absolutely insane.
GG, well played. Congratulations to the people that did place their bets on ForJumy as well. MeomaikA, he never disappoints with his matches.
It really doesn't. Yeah, it definitely seems that, you know, EU has caught up a little bit with the MeomaikA style. And just as well. I mean, it's about just in time that they did, because I've been hearing rumors that there are a couple of top Zerg players in EU who are getting a bit inspired by MeomaikA.
Yes, yes, it has been revealed on social media that Cyril has been inspired by MeomaikA, that Cyril is maybe going to be whipping out some Ling Hydra at some point in the near future, so that's definitely something to be excited about. But Cyril will not be here in this tournament. We're going to be following ForJumy. He eliminates MeomaikA from OSC mid-season playoffs, and he moves on to face another European Protoss.